EQB is out with its latest quarterly results, showing continued growth in its customer base and overall cost structure. At the same time, Ottawa's new fast-track framework for fintech licenses is shifting the competitive landscape as EQB moves ahead with its PC Financial acquisition. Joining us now is Chadwick Westlake, the CEO of EQB. Thanks very much, Chadwick, as always, for coming in and joining us. Let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights. EPS, 226, up 48%. Where did that come from? What did you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me again, Roger. And before the numbers, maybe I can just say this is such an important time for the Canadian banking industry. And Canada's challenger banking is leading the way. And more competition, more choice for Canadians. We're very purpose-led, very intentful in trying to improve Canadian banking. So we're making great strides. And this was a quarter of doing what we said we were going to do. We said we'd improve efficiency as a competitive advantage. We improved almost 500 basis points in one quarter. We said we were going to improve ROE back to our 12% outlook for this year and back to our medium-term guidance. We increased ROE and EPS, to your point, almost 50% quarter over quarter. So we're making great financial strides, but also doing very important things for Canadians. And that's going to hit a whole new platform when we close the transaction with PC Financial and start our Loblaw partnership.
And we're going to talk more about that. But with the efficiencies to improve that, where did you find them? What were you doing?
Yeah, we had a restructuring late last year. So it was a combination of some people and process costs where we became more efficient. A lot of this comes down to focus. How do you focus your capital and your resources on the things that matter most and really spend time on that, because you can get distracted otherwise. So we're focusing on where can we make the biggest win for Canadians and for our company. And that's where some of those changes came in. So there was some reductions in staffing, and we thought through our balance sheet a little bit differently and focusing on where we can win. And that's the outcome of that.
And when you say you rethought on your balance sheet, what were you doing? How were you rethinking things?
Yeah, there's some projects and some products where maybe we weren't winning. So we're doing a little bit less in some other areas and focusing on where we're number one. And that's the outcome of that. So we were doing a little bit less in things like insurance lending and some other products, a little bit less time there, more on our core franchise, our core single family, core reverse mortgages, core commercial banking, things like that.
And AI, where's that fitting in for you? I mean, it's what everybody is talking about, and 2026 seems to be the year that everybody's really implementing. Obviously, you're using it. Where is it fitting in? Yeah,
right across the board. We actually just, for commercial banking, we had a new commercial loan origination platform that we're doing a lot of work with that actually increased our start to finish time about 30 to 50% actually in the actual loan approval process. So it was all AI within that process for commercial loans and right across the platform in terms of how we're doing adjudication, our back office operations, all of it. And it's sort of what will differentiate you is not only the AI, but how you use that AI to become even more efficient and effective for customers.
Now, with the way your bank is set up, is it easier to implement AI?
Absolutely. So we're well over 90% cloud-based, 100% cloud-based in EQ Bank. We have an excellent partnership with Microsoft. We're based on Azure, and we actually have a very open API infrastructure that enables us to bring in fintechs and actually scale even faster with AI as well.
Okay, and going back just to talking about challenger banks and the opportunities, what opportunities do you see? Because I mean, there's not a lot of room anymore. There's just a few banks, and we've seen population stall. So where are you going? How are you building, and how are you growing?
Yeah, when we close PC Financial, for example, that will be one big step. So I think day one, we quadruple our customers. We nearly double our revenue. We add new distribution channels, and importantly, we then have PC Optimum that becomes part of all of our products. So we're going to have an opportunity to be more visible to about 17.5 million Canadians and bring in millions of direct customers. So we're going to make an impact there where they may not know EQ Bank today. So we're going to bring them our no-fee, low-fee products, our great digital platform, a lot more solutions we can bring to them. And you combine up this one new challenger. That's how we're going to make a difference. It's one of those things where if 80 to 90% of Canadians don't even know we're there today, with this transaction, they will. We have great products. We believe we have the number one products. We're going to bring them to those customers.
And where are you? I mean, I guess you're still waiting for approval, but how will you not step on each other's toes when you're bringing them together and not lose customers possibly because there's a lot of crossover and things like that?
Well, it's a net addition. So we're bringing in all that talent. This is about growth in Canadian jobs. This is about growth and options for Canadians. So we've set up an integration management office, and this is a partnership, Roger. That's really important. Loblaw will become up to a 25% shareholder in EQB. They're going to have a couple board seats. This is truly about partnership and aligning under this EQ Bank brand and PC Optimum. So we're very organized on that sense. And this is so aligned with the federal government's intent on greater competition and greater choice for Canadians. This is right on point. And I think there could be a lot of urgency to go even faster here. This is going to make more choice and better companies at the end of the day.
Now they're fast tracking the licensing framework for
Yeah.
fintechs. I mean, where do you see that going, and what do you think of it?
I think that's fantastic. I think the more choice and more competition, the better, because that will drive the incumbents to improve pricing, products, innovation even faster. And that will get us to the table even faster to be visible, to bring more choice to Canadians. Every dollar of capital we generate goes back into Canada. With this transaction, everyone has a job. This is about growth, truly, and choice. So we'd like to go faster, further, and make a big difference to Canadians now.
And what's the focus? I mean, obviously, PC is a big focus for this year. What else, though? Where are you hoping to take this?
Yeah, well, outside of PC Financial, we're focused on our core franchise. So businesses like reverse mortgages, we just grew another 5% sequentially, and making a huge impact, because there's actually not a lot of education in Canada about what that can do for customers. CMHC insured multi-unit lending is a big priority for us. Our single-family business, where we serve underserved, especially borrowers for self, that are very important to Canada. And our digital bank, EQ Bank, that platform, we just added another 26,000 customers quarter over quarter. And there's huge potential to continue to grow that. But you add it all together with PC, you have a very complete product shelf. So completing that product shelf is very important as part of this.
And with the residential mortgages, are you feeling pressures there?
Yeah, well, look, we reflect everyday Canadians. So you certainly saw there was some early delinquency, but that's very, very early, right? Actually, the portfolio is performing exactly as we expected. Even from last quarter to this quarter, we said we thought we'd see some improvement in PCLs. And we did. It improved 28% quarter over quarter. And our conventional lending for single family expanded another 2% quarter over quarter. So there's growth there, but we're not chasing growth. We're focusing on some key markets, especially like Quebec, for example. We had a great quarter. Mm-hmm. So there is growth there, but people are struggling. You have to reflect that, and the housing market is muted in its growth. So we're choosing where we can win very, very thoughtfully.
Okay, we have to wrap it up there, but thank you very much, as always, for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate it.
That was Chadwick Westlake, the president and CEO of EQ Bank.